Good evening to my YouTube viewers. Today we will switch over to the characteristic features of culture. Already we have the not sufficient, minimum basic knowledge we had about the culture. Some definitions and the meaning at the introduction and related few words. So one after another we will go through the characteristic features. Number one is culture is learned. Next, shared. If what I learned from my professors, I am sharing my knowledge to you. But it is not in a biological concern, biological hereditary. So it is always with a sociologically learning. And so in the society, we are diffusing or distributing and sharing the knowledge. The second point is culture is structured. Already culture is in two ways, materialistic culture and non-materialistic culture. Both are having the visible and invisible form. The structures is present. You may think only the visible is materialistic culture has the structure we can see. Even non-materialistic culture is also when we are doing the traditional rituals. How the Pandit is doing systematically. Immediately when the prayer will start, he never ring the bell. At the end only, there is a systematic structural methodology will be there. So that invisible culture is also having some structure, visible culture is also having some structure. So finally, culture is structured. Third one is, culture is super individual and super organic. In the last class I covered you, culture is super individual. From the nature, the human beings are acquiring, getting the knowledge and the awareness. If it is super organic, man has the ability to express to the others. Fourth one, culture is a dynamic. Without dynamism, there is no growth, no progress, no evolution, no development and no sustainable development. That's why culture is always with a dynamic in fashion. It never be static. Next, culture is a vehicle. How? In America also, Pittsburgh, we are having the Balaji temple. That is Venkateswara temple. How it came? Because many people are going and staying back for their convenience. They want to pray the Balaji. That's why they have taken the permission and they constructed the building and statue also. Crude form they have taken. They will be sculptured there only. So here it is, along with the people, the culture is also moving. That's why culture is a vehicle. Culture is an instrument. So what type of culture that I am practicing? Teaching culture I am practicing. Some goldsmith culture. Butcher, some culture. Cobbler, some culture. According to their convenient, their profession, they are doing their work. So finally, culture is an instrument. Culture is an ideal. Ideal means standard, model, example. Gandhi is an idealistic personality. If you want to be a good person, you should follow the rules of the Gandhi or footprints of the Gandhi. So because he is an ideal person. And then culture is a social but not the individual. Where the culture will stay back and from where it will go to somewhere else. When the group is there, people are living and they are practicing through vehicle, through along with them it is moving to somewhere else. But it is not confined to the individual. Culture is always group or the social, but it is not the individual. And culture is human phenomenon. No animals will practice systematically. It does not go about the sense of the civic sense or the social sense. So only human beings, that's why we are calling the culture is a human phenomenon. Next, culture is allowing the changes. Without change, there is no growth and the development. We should always allow the number of changes. By this, we will get the new ideas. So, culture is continuous change. Change in continuity, continuity in change. A book was written by Mr. Mandelbaum. And then, here, culture is understanding. By whom? Human beings. That's why culture is human understanding. If the teacher will say something, the people try to understand. If that cattle herd person, if he will say cattle may listen, may not listen, or else he will beat them on their back, then automatically it will listen. Here in the class, when the teacher is explaining, people are able to understand it. This is concerned with the human beings only. That's why it is not concerned with the animal beings. Next, culture is an integrative. Integration means if all the subparts are unite together with the help of cooperation and coordination and assimilation, finally we will reach the topmost original point, oneness. Integration had been taken place. If all the states are contributing some amount for the nation's economic development, automatically national development had been taken place. Economic integration had been taken place. Culture is a gratifying needs. Needs are nothing but the basic needs. Gratifying means satisfying. So culture will satisfy the minimum basic needs to maximum luxurious needs also. Once again, we will go through. Why? Because if you review this, it will be permanent in your mind. In such a way, I am always reviewing. So here it is, culture is shared. Culture is learned and then shared, but it is not biological. Culture is structured. Culture is super organic, super individual. Culture is dynamic. Culture is a vehicle. Culture is showing the variations or relationship. And culture is finally instrument. Culture is ideal. Culture is human phenomenon. Culture is continuous changes. Culture is human understanding the human being. That's why human understanding. Culture is integration. Culture will be satisfying the or gratifying the needs. Along with these cultural characteristic features, I also added the cultural growth. Cultural growth is based on the 6 points. One is invention. Second one is discovery. Third one is evolution. Fourth one is diffusion. Fifth one is acculturation. Sixth one is enculturation. If it is invention, we are introducing the new phenomenon, new drugs, new ideas, new formulas, new welfare measures, either for the poor people or that is the COVID, new injection, Sheffield injections, vaccine. That is also new phenomenon. So Chandrasekhar is going to introduce the new welfare program. So 3,000 instead of 3,000, he is going to give for the aged person 3,500 rupees. This is the introducing the new phenomenon. Second one is discovered. Already the whole thing is there, but it was covered by the paper or the dirt or the debris, something or cloth. If you remove this gently, then we can find the existed things like the Buddha Ramas. And then third one is, it is a evolution. Third one is evolution. Evolution is the life is going on and it is also taking the help of the climatic changes. Because of the climatic changes, social changes, changes had been taken place in many forms. If it is the biological changes, how it is? Biological changes are amoeba to Homo sapien, single unicellular to the multiple cellular organism, the name is human being. If it is social sense, that is example marriage. In earlier days, polygamous marriages. A man can marry many women, a woman can also marry many men. From that situation to monogamy, that is one man and one woman. So changes in the marriage system, changes in the family system, example joint family to the nuclear family, it came. And then diffusion, this phenomenon will be distributed to the where it is originated, it never be stayed back, it is expressed, it is distributed to many places. Mobile was introduced in America or Japan or China, whatever it may be, and it is diffused to the all the places, all the people are enjoying the fruits of the technology. And then acculturation and enculturation. Acculturation is when two cultures come to contact, automatically they are losing their original culture, partially they are having the original, and new culture is also coming out. A-B culture is mixing. Finally, we are getting the A-B culture. There is another new form. A culture is also some points. B culture is the some points. But A-B culture is not at all some points. A new culture had been taken place. Then enculturation. Enculturation is nothing but the socialization. What is socialization? Teaching phenomenon and learning phenomenon. Now I am teaching, you are also learning. If it is in the class also, now it is in the online. If it is in the regular class, on the platform I am standing and giving the information, you are sitting and receiving. That phenomenon will be called as socialization. But why we are using these two words separately? Why? Because there was a problem between the professors, sociologist and cultural anthropologist. That's why sociologists will use this same phenomena, teaching and learning phenomenon, and they are using the word socialization. If it is cultural anthropologist, for the same phenomenon, learning and teaching phenomenon, they are using the enculturation. By this, today lecture is completed. Okay, if possible, please do subscribe. This is Bindu taking leave from the YouTube platform.